Moving abroad can be a lonely feeling and kind of shocking for many Americans because they're used to a fast pace of life and a lot of attention. Welcome to part 3 of the interview with my creator friend Florian. Don't forget to find the rest of the interview at the end or in the description box. If you have any thoughts, input, or questions, add them to the comment section and we can keep this discussion going. Otherwise, thank you for watching.
Do you have any tips on making friends in a new country?
No.
No, that's very hard.
No, oh man, that's a tricky one. It really is. As you should know, after all, you spoke on this in your video. I don't know if you remember the video that I reacted to, but befriending the Germans is sort of a task. All right. And I don't mean this in a rude way, but it's sort of a task. Firstly, 9 times out of 10, the Germans will not be the ones to initiate any kind of friendship or, opening up in that way. If they don't already know you from like childhood, they likely won't be the ones to initiate with the foreigner, the expat. That makes it difficult because after all, in situations like that, you, meaning the foreigner, the expat, are the visitor. So you're already apprehensive about everything in this whole new land. You're already overburdened with figuring out so many things. And now you have to be the one to say, hi, my name is too. It's just, I don't know, it could be overburdening at times. Most of my friends have come in the form of other foreigners or short-term visitors, maybe, where most just end up leaving again. That's been my situation, unfortunately. The reason behind having so many foreigner friends is it just, for me, for a while, it just became easier to deal with. It was easier acquiring friends that could relate to me and actually knew what I was going through and, having the same exact things we can talk about. That made it a little bit easier to have acquaintances. Yeah. But like I said, unfortunately, most of them just end up moving away, whether it be like people who are here from the U.S. and are serving in the military currently, they got to go. Whether it be people who moved here without the military and decided to take the chance that I took. Some of them can't hack it. They go away. And some people just move away because they don't like the area. They want to try their hand in some other place. But unfortunately, most of my friends had come in that form. I may not be the best source of info for actually making friends with the Germans, unfortunately. I just don't have that many.
I've heard this comparison somewhere that Germans are like coconuts and Americans are like peaches. Peaches are soft from the outside. It's nice and squishy, easy to get to know, but they have a hard inside. It's really hard to get to the core. And Germans are the other way around. They have a hard outside. It's really hard to break the shell, but once it's broken, it's all soft and nice inside and friendly.
I never heard that, but that's so fitting. That fits perfectly. I got to be honest.
It's just,
wow.
You have to keep on trying to get that outer shell broken.
Yeah, man. And it's a tough one, I'll tell you. Man,
yeah, I can imagine.
It's a tough shell.
I know firsthand experience, even growing up, it's not that easy unless you interact on a daily basis. That's basically the easiest way to make friends, interacting on a frequent basis with people. That's how I learned people. Like here, it's easier in Canada because they don't have the hard shell from the outside.
Yeah.
But it's easy to make friends if you have a workplace to go to and just talk to work colleagues and get to know them and then get to know people through the people at work, because you meet up and they bring some more people and stuff like that.
Fortunate for you, you don't really have a language barrier.
Yeah, that's I've learned English from 4th grade on. That's a big one.
That's a positive that I've always looked at Germany as, thumbs up for doing that, because my girls are on their 3rd language now through the German school, so it's a good thing.
Yeah, language can be a hard barrier. Do you ever feel homesick, especially with the behavior of how hard it is to get to know new Germans?
Very often at first. Being away from family was tough. I dealt with it by just staying in contact as much as I could. I mean, what else are you going to do? I've gotten better about it. I used to think that I needed to visit the US like every year or two. That's, in the beginning, it's just like, I'll be back home next year. I'll go back next year. Like I needed to get some sort of, comfort fix or something. But I got over that pretty quickly. Eventually, I was able to understand that this is actually home now. This is my comfortable. When I went to the US in 2020 and would refer to going back home, this right here in Germany is where my mind defaulted to. It wasn't where I grew up. It wasn't, some other place in the States or anything like that. Not where I lived prior to moving here, but right here. When I said I was going home, this is where my mind went to. So any feeling of homesickness I felt in the beginning was US based. Now, feeling homesick, if I ever do, would definitely be for here.
I always thought home is where I hang my head. I always had this mindset, but living abroad for a longer period of time makes me realize like there are things you miss. There are things that you would like to have where you live right now, but then you just have to imagine what are the, like, how is it like now? How is your life now, and what are the benefits where you are living now compared to the things you miss? And then I think of it's only the little things. Those little things are not the important part of my life. Like my entire life, my center of life is here. I have friends. I have a stable job. Like I'm happy where I am. And those little things, they are just nothing major.
Yeah,
that's how I overcome homesickness, thinking about how important is that little tiny piece that I miss.
That's a very good point. And I can relate directly to that as well. When I stop to think about what exactly am I missing, it's never anything significant. In most cases, like you said, it's the little things. It's just like, in the scope of things, would I trade what I'm doing right now for that? It's like, no, I wouldn't. So yeah, you just got to kind of weigh it, I suppose. Going back for any specific reason never outweighs being here for me.
I even started writing them down, the things I miss. And then I was thinking, could I find those things here where I am right now, or anywhere close here, like within a driving distance? And most of the things I could actually find somewhere. It's just most of the things I had on my list were related to accessibility of big city stuff, because I don't live in a really big city right now. So that has nothing to do with, I can only get that in my home country in Germany, but it's actually just related to where I live right now. And
real quick, what city are you in?
It's pretty small. It has about 20,000 people. It's 4 hours from Vancouver. It's in the middle of the mountains. It's beautiful here, but it's not a big city.
That's what you wanted, right?
Yeah.
Exactly what you wanted. I agree with you, man. That's totally right. And that's a good way to look at things.
Like that actually helped me writing stuff down and thinking about, can I get that here somewhere in this country, or somewhere where I can drive within a short distance, within a short time. And then the list boiled down to only a few items, and those were the only things that I truly missed. And then it isn't that overwhelming of, there are so many things that I can't have here. It's actually just a handful of things.
Puts things into perspective.
Yeah, exactly. We talked about friends. How's about social network? Because you talked about your friends mostly were all other expats or people visiting. I count this as network as well, just networking, getting to know people. Doesn't matter if it's from your own country or anywhere else. Did building a network change when you move to a different country?
This would sort of go back to the making friends question a little bit for me, because my physical network here is lackluster at best. But my digital or online social network is pretty substantial, I'd say. Sadly, the amount of people or friends or acquaintances I know online by far overshadow the amount of people I know in real life. Hate it or love it, this is how I've had to keep myself in the circles that I want to be in. Other creators, other social media business folks, even just folks with the same mindset that like to motivate and elevate others. I've had to surround myself with them somehow. I never saw Germany as a place that was big on that, and I was kind of right. Although there are lots of Germans out there that are doing business online, and whether it be gaming online or modeling or whatever the case may be. You know what I'm talking about? Instagram, YouTube. There are many. It's just not as widespread amongst the common people as it is in other places, India, the US. I found it hard to find like-minded people that think like me, understand my purpose here with creating content and video and film. It's just tough to find people that are in that same space, that same mental space, unless I search online.
Yeah.
If you were to visit the town I live in or the surrounding town, you're pretty much not going to find anybody that does this, that is into this. It's going to be rare. 1 or 2 people maybe. And if not that, they'll be like super young, like kids, you understand?
Yeah.
So yeah, I've had to do what I had to do. If meeting new people in a foreign country is important to you, then I would say definitely don't be in a shell. You're going to have to be out a lot and maybe be full of initiative. Also, maybe have a thick skin because you know everything's not going to go your way and you're going to get a lot of disappointments. So, I mean, it is what it is, man. My experience definitely doesn't speak for everyone, but from what I've gathered, this is kind of how it is here. And that's how my social networking has been. It's mostly online.
Mostly online.
Yep.
Yeah, it depends what you are looking for. If you want the physical interaction, and there's no like-minded people in your area about the specific niche you're looking for, it can be pretty hard. But if it's like just in general, you just have to put yourself out there and keep trying. Did all the experiences you had in Germany, did it actually change your mindset and how you treat life and work and your culture?
It's definitely opened my eyes to all of those things, honestly. My concept of working has definitely shifted. No longer do I think it's the only thing that matters. You know, I don't wake up in the morning to hurry up and get to work so that I can, you know what I mean? It's not the only thing that matters to me by far anymore. I'll never work so much that I miss the things that really make life worth living. I'll never go back to that.